Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about the easiest bulwark build in all of Space Marine 2 to punch up into hard strats and absolute difficulty. Now, just like the Assault class, the easiest setup on this guy is with the Death Grasp Power Fist. This is a hilariously easy to use weapon. All you have to do is just parry enemies, execute them, and you will achieve free gun strikes, and also in between that, all you have to do is just light attack spam, which makes it very easy to not get like animation locked and stuff like that. And when we take this on a Bulwark class where we already have options like Intimidating Aura to get free damage on every perfect parry, combine that with the Fencing Window on this, and also combine it with Armor Reinforcement to get armor regen, we kind of just become a walking apocalypse that cannot die. And when you were taking this against Tyranids especially, even though it is good against Chaos as well, I mean, you just kind of walk through the whole map. It's really hard to take HP damage at a certain point. Now, the heroic perk effect here is called Follow Up Shot. Performing a finisher marks a nearby Majoris or higher enemy for a gun strike. Light attack damage increases by 200%, but charge attack damage decreases by 50%. So all you have to do is, gun strike an enemy half the time, and then you put them into finisher. You use your finisher, you get armor back, you have a new gun strike opportunity, and that can also apply a gun strike to stuff like Zoanthropes and Neurothropes, which means even if you're taking a plasma pistol that's usually not that strong against Zoanthropes, there are a lot of occasions where you'll just get a free gun strike on them and more free damage. So this weapon's kind of hilarious sometimes, but that's just how it is. Now, for the perk tree, I do take Perpetual Strength first into the perk here Heavy Preparation, because even though the heavy attacks have a 50% reduction here, they still kind of hit like a truck because the Power Fists just do be like that. And the next perk here is Perpetual Strength and Perpetual Strength, and the final perks are Focused Intention, Height of Battle to make your power wave go to 20 meters, because the description here is actually incorrect. This will turn your Power Fist heavy attacks into a ranged weapon, and even with that 50% reduction, you'll still use that to just wipe out Minotaur's hordes, do a ton of damage to Majoris and stuff like that, even if it's a bit weaker against like the Extremis and the bosses. Next perk here is Strength of Will, up here into the perk Following Blow, and the final perks are Combo and Majora's Slayer. Now, if you don't have access to the Death Grasp Power Fist, I would probably just take the Fencing Power Axe. I would set up this way. This is a very strong fencing option, and so are things like the Fencing Power Sword on the Salamander Sword or just the normal relic tier. But Death Grasp, as far as like ease of use goes, there really is not an easier melee weapon in Space Marine 2, especially an armor reinforcement build, because this thing's perk effect, it just perfectly synergizes for armor restoration. But Power Axe is also pretty good for stuff like Power Strike for more gun strike damage, or you just build into stuff like Restoration for more armor regen as well. But, that is up to you, and this is just the best. Now, for the secondary here, I do take the Rate of Fire Plasma. This really comes down to whether or not you are fighting Chaos or what you prefer. So, Rate of Fire Plasma, incredible contested health recovery. As long as you have this weapon, all it takes is like one charge shot to get back all of your HP. And with the perk here, Advanced Conditioning, for a 50% reduction in your contested health fade, it is incredibly easy to keep topped off on this build, and the Rate of Fire makes that even easier. So a really good synergy there. And also the instant stagger of these charged shots on the plasma pistol here, that will knock out a minigun Terminator that's volley firing you immediately. And against Chaos, being able to interrupt that even with your shield being an option is just super valuable. So a great perk here. And you can also regen ammo on a percentage increase with stuff like Auxiliary Reload. Now, for the perk tree, I do take Plasma Collection first, moving here into the perk Rapid Cooling. Then I grab Plasma Collection again, Divine Might, Blast Radius, Perpetual Velocity into the perk here Plasma Collection, Efficient Charge, and the perk here Perfect Cooling. This has been the best setup overall for this gun for like a year now, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, I'll say if you don't want to use a plasma pistol, if you're fighting Tyranids, you're like, Mr. FTG, I really want to have a headshot multiplier option. Hey, you can definitely do that. You can take a firepower bolt pistol, you can take a heroic bolt pistol. These are both great options here. I actually think the heavy bolt pistol's a little bit behind the bolt pistols at the moment on the relic tier, because these things are super accurate, super damaging, and the heroic bolt pistol especially has like a 9 accuracy now and hits like a truck on the gun strike, has equivalent gun strike damage to a firepower heavy bolt pistol, and for that reason I think that accuracy is actually really useful for a lot of players, especially on controller. Now, for the perk tree here, we take Perpetual Precision first, moving here to the perk Headhunter. Then I grab the perk Gun Strike Reload, Increase Capacity, Headhunter again, Elite Hunter, the perk perk here, Headhunter once again, Extended Magazine, and Divine Might, and that's the way I would set this up for like every build. Now, for the perk tree, the first perk is up to you. So Intimidating Aura, this is the biggest value generation here. This will do a ton of free damage for you in a 5-meter radius. And to put this into a perspective, the amount of damage Intimidating Aura actually does is like 190 or 192, and a Tyranid Sword Warrior has 308 HP, which means you are doing over half of a Sword Warrior's HP in a 5-meter radius every 5 seconds for just parrying the enemy. And you also don't even have to stagger them on that parry, and this also functions with perfect block. So this perk really is kind of cracked, but Conviction, the damage reduction here, this is also cracked and much safer. So if you don't want the perk over here for damage, if you want like max tank, Conviction is a bit easier for some players. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Next perk here is Scramble Targeting for a 25% range damage reduction while surrounded by 5 more enemies. This perk is just top tier damage reduction. I mean, it's just more damage reduction on top of all of your armor, and armor does benefit from range damage reduction, unlike health damage reduction, which is in the name. So a really good synergy on armor reinforcement. And the next perk is Armor Reinforcement. Non-finisher gun strikes restore 1 armor segment. Okay, so this is another choice you can make. Armor Reinforcement is the obvious choice against Tyranids. If you're fighting Chaos, occasionally Steel Within can be a bit better, because when there are no Chaos spawn around, you don't always have the opportunity to perfect parry or just get a gun strike option. So the flat damage reduction of Steel Within, this can benefit you a bit more, and also makes you way tankier against like random range spam attacks, though Armor Reinforcement against the Tyranids with the Death Grasp Power Fist, this is just kind of cracked. I mean, this will any amount of armor will damage cap against a single instance of a melee attack. What I mean by that is if you have like a sliver of armor left, you will take 0 damage from an incoming melee attack, and that is such a powerful effect against the Tyranid faction that armor reinforcement with this weapon just becomes kind of nuts. So a really good synergy there. Next perk here is Advanced Conditioning. Contested health fades 50% more slowly for all team members. One of the hardest things to do when you are learning Space Marine 2 is managing contested health. The contested health fade window really requires you to know how it actually operates to get the full benefit. I know, kind of a no-brainer there, but the point is, a like 1-second window on this is very fast for a new player, and upping that margin for error is super beneficial for you and make your life go way easier for not just you, but your teammates too. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies with area effect. This perk is god tier. I mean, you just put this down, it is a ton of free damage. It will straight up wipe out Minoris, do a ton of damage to Majoris, and also even the bosses and Extremis, so definitely pick this up. And the next perk here is obvious. This is Invigorating Icon. When the banner is activated, all team members regain maximum contested health, but recharges 50% slower. So the proposition of value of this perk is nuts. The amount of HP you can get for not just yourself, but your entire team is truly staggering from this option. You will actually get more HP from this perk sometimes than the entirety of an operation stim supply, which, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself in terms of pickup economy breaking, so definitely pick this up for an easy build. Next perk here is Rejuvenating Effect. When the banner is activated, it revives incapacitated team members in the Zerv effect. This is just nice to like get your teammates up, because there are times where you just can't actually res them. I mean, you are a Bulwark class, so you are kind of a pussy if you have to like use your little banner safety net and you can't just man it up and you know, get them up off the ground, but sometimes it is nice. Next weapon here, or next perk, is Armor Advance. If you have armor remaining, you do not lose control from heavy hits. It cannot be knocked back. Since we have so many sources of armor regen from all those gun strikes, this thing here is going to be up pretty much 24/7, though defensive mastery is also very strong to one-shot Majoris or Extremis, and that's pretty much all there is for the main perk tree. Now, for the prestige perk options, number 1, Auxiliary Reload. Melee kills of Extremis or higher enemies restore your secondary weapons ammo by 1 magazine. So on a weapon like the Heroic Bolt Pistol or the normal Bolt Pistol here, you will just get back 1 magazine. However, on the Plasma Pistol, this will give you back a percentage restore instead, which is very valuable for you. And on the higher difficulties, you will find more Extremis, so kind of a no-brainer to pick this up. But I will say, if you're playing on like Ruthless difficulty or Lethal difficulty, I would skip over this because it's just going to generate you significantly less value. Next perk here I would take is Resilience. Medicate Sim to restore 40% more HP. Then I'd pick up Overcharge and Masterful Defense, because Even with the Death Grasp Power Fist here, the charge attack damage increase is still worth taking because the Power Fist just be like that, and this CDR increase, or I should say this CDR restoration, is incredible, so definitely the best options here. And that is all there is for the Bulwark class. I mean, this really is one of the easiest builds in the entire game, not just for this guy, but hopefully this build guide helped you. We have an ETA in the next patch, September. There will also be Twitch drops for the next patch, so make sure to follow me on Twitch, because I will go for like 20 hours straight for like 3 weeks in a row, as is tradition. Easiest Bulwark build, don't die streamer. I mean, it's pretty face roll build, I'm not gonna lie. Death Grasp Power Fist, you can kind of just spam light attacks the entire game. Your heavy attacks actually still do a lot. Now the only thing I'd swap over for Chaos on this build would be like just go to Seal Within. Now the previous build I used that I would call the easiest was like a Fencing Power Axe. I don't think that one's even remotely as good as this. I think the Death Grasp on both Assault and Bulwark is just face roll. Slap on Armor Reinforcement. Intimidating Aura. Invigorating Icon. How does one die? You die if you run out of ammo. That's how.
Talassa, Combat Squad Heraton reporting. We lost Vox contact with Combat Squad Phaedrus. Do you know their status?
Phaedrus went silent, Heraton.
We must consider our brothers lost then. Our objective is to secure the cyclonic warheads at all costs, encountering heavy Tyranid resistance.
24-hour stream for the release of patch 15. We'll see. We will see. $48-hour stream. I think Froggy went for 41 hours at patch 13.
Imperial vessels are sturdy, but they do have limits.
Isn't the block Relic Fist better? Yeah, but this is easier.
Just remake this vessel into an instrument of retribution.
Easy mode, as I would call it. I remember the first time, like, so 2 years ago, I made a build where I was like, I called it easy mode. It was easy mode in Bulwark, but like back then, the player base, would get upset if you called a build easy. They're like, how dare you call this build easy mode? This is actually a high skill based build. I was like, okay.
The Imperial Navy has impressive armaments.
The Douglas-class light cruiser carries an outsized complement of weapons, batteries, and lances.
Gun strike, repeat. Where the fuck is he going? They're playing on Absolute, of course. Don't play anything else. I don't think Absolute's that difficult for like really any class in this game at this point, but some classes is definitely easier on. Like, what is this shit? Look at that. Alright, can you just get over here? Yeah, we can still punch him. Pretty sure we just block this. Yeah, as long as you have your no knockback up, so you took armor advance. Oops. This is why I usually prefer taking bolt pistols or something against these guys. Because this is like riveting gameplay here. Oops. Not dodging that, not really matters. Because the show, see? If you just get smacked in the face, you shoot your gun a single time and all your HP's back. That's why this build is just face roll. All you have to do is just light spam, shoot them or execute them. They just do not care. I can help you with the stratagem. I'm not doing stratagem games today. Well, not for the one weekly or anything.
Combat squad Heraton reporting in. The bridge is lost, as are my squad brothers. I am cut off from our planned route to the ordnance depot. Calculating a new route based on your report, Heraton. Standing by. Be advised. The cruiser's crew managed to execute security protocols before they were overrun by the Xenos brood.
Hey, tips on how to survive the range spam in this game. Your dodges will have iframes against range hits as well. And most of the range projectiles go in a straight line in this game, and the ones that don't are pretty slow. They can be annoying sometimes. Also, if you're in melee, enemies will be more likely to miss you. I'm not sure if you know this FTG, but on block power fist, when you do the double charge attack, damage is higher than the balanced one. Well, of course it is. That's the whole point of block weapons. Block weapons get like a 90% damage buff for their first hit and 2.2 seconds after. Balance is just higher in base. Block like requires charges to reach a higher amount.
Attention boarding parties. We have confirmation that combat squad Phaedrus is lost. I need a mission status update from all remaining combat squads. Combat squad
Got me excited about the Thunderhammer. From what I read, I saw a variant. I think they'll release a heroic. Yeah, I did make a whole video on that. There will be a new heroic. They're gonna add a power maul heroic variant of Thunderhammer, the one-handed one.
Talassa, you are nearing the reactor cooling hole. Report on its condition when you arrive.
That's pretty cool, I think.
We have updated our battle stratagems. Heraton, reinforce Octavio and protect the cyclonic armaments. Talassa, your new orders are to destabilize the reactor. cause a temperature spike, and the Tyranids may redirect their assault to you, buying Heraton and Octavio some time to prime the armaments. When you reach the reactor's cooling console, disable the emergency blast shields. Emergency blast shields retracting. Warning. Coolant rods exposed. Tulasa, I need you to disable the entire cooling array. Concentrate fire on the exposed cooling rods.
Aim for the exposed rod sections.
What's up, FCG? I'm digging the Black Viper's drip. I'm glad we could provide.
Failed that ultra. Tyranny.
But guys, we got huge plans for patch 15. Tons of stuff, tons of new stuff, tons of collabs coming actually too. It'd be great fun.
Identify blockages and remove Xenos organisms.
Their bodies are forming a shield.
And naturally, all the build guides. 100 billion build guides.
Our tactical colors. We crush the ravenous brood. That is no order. Steal your mark. Xenos biomass on scope. Tyranny fireball. Watch for score lines. Equipment power. Armor annihilated. Another Xenos atrocity claims. Get us the great. The Tyranids dispatched and dismantled.
Elements of the cooling rod array are clogged.
This is the not fun part by yourself on this map.
Rod destroyed. Acquire
It's not too bad, the plasma pistol.
Registering extreme temperature fluctuation. Plasma cooling efficacy severely reduced. Excellent, Talasa. You will need to repeat the same process at the second array.
Even with that 50% reduction, you still like one shot these Hormigons. Your charge hits. Any other chapters? Any other chapters you want us to get a champion skin for the Salamanders? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Salamanders, to be honest. The Iron Halo is the coolest thing they added in, but they have cool successor chapters.
Elements of the cooling rod array are clogged.
The Space Marine 2 allowed Terminator armor? No. Because you're a Primaris. You're not playing. Well, I mean, there are Primaris Terminators, but you're not playing as one.
Identify blockages and remove Xenos organisms.
Ready to deploy. Xenos Hunter stalks us. Behold, the supremacy of Ultra.
Identify blockages and
We'll get through them all eventually.
Xenos organisms.
I guess we'll grab more ammo. This part just sucks ass by yourself. Got all these little Hormiguns. Perish. Should have a nade here.
There is no stateless ground. So, watch for psychic onslaught. Our banner awaits unfurled. The fewer psychers these Xenos have, the better.
Let's get a free gun strike on Neuro throat, Zone Throat. I love it. See? Freebie gun strike.
This galaxy is the door.
All these snipers. There's a lot more snipers this patch. I'll say that. Far more. Far more than before. Really, ever since Tech Marine came out.
Rush the Revenant through.
Elements of the cooling rod array uncloaked.
We're almost done with these guys. Look at that. It only took like 500 plasma shots.
All rods are now inoperational.
Temperatures at critical level.
I guess we'll take that.
Plasma reactors shutting down to prevent catastrophic detonation. Tomasa, do not let the reactors cool down. This cruiser will soon perform its final task. Proceed to the decks below and force the plasma reactors to overheat. Move out, brothers. The plasma reactors are on the lower decks.
What are you hopping on Helldivers? Never. Why would I play Helldivers?
You received word from our brother.
I think that game's shit, to be honest. I think that game is like the friend slot game.
Taken him through the technical underbelly.
Negative. But judging by the damage, he may have taken this route.
Understood. Be advised. We remain under heavy Tyranid assault.
FGG doesn't want to play like you. I didn't have any guides. Only about like 2,000.
We believe they will abandon your position.
This is ill-advised, Talassa. If you do not rig the reactor to detonate, the cyclonic warheads will be wasted. Combat Squad Octavio will redouble our efforts to draw the Tyranids away from your position instead. Acknowledged, Octavio. Emperor be with you.
Maybe the Gears of War open beta, not that either. Guys, I would really never expect FTG to play anything except for Space Marine 2 and Total War 40k. And like maybe Dawn of War 4 or Dark Tide. Nothing to expect Warhammer. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever play anything on Warhammer on this channel. I played Helldivers 2 one time on this channel. Never again. He's a pile of shit. Helldivers has a new 40k war bond. Yeah, but why would I play Timu 40k when I can just play 40k?
We have lost contact with Heraton leader, and Octavio is pinned down. You must destabilize the plasma reactor. Our brothers from Phaedrus and Heraton shall not have died in vain.
Salazar taking up position at the reactor. Medical assistant.
Poor mines, dude. That's where Seal Within's better. Literally, so I thought I just walked past and they all detonated in my face. I think I just chain reaction myself. There must be a Biowar up there. That's fun. Spore Mine's a permanent nightmare fuel. Yeah, like probably one of the only things in the entire game that can 100-0 you. I think I got slapped by an Race Devourer there too, to be fair. But that's the downside of armor reinforcement, is that you don't actually have damage reduction, and damage reduction is Space Marine too. If you had Seal Within there, you don't die. I always say that against Chaos. About Total War Warhammer the End Times? I mean, who gives a shit? Total War creator, there are enough Total War creators for fantasy. I haven't played a Warhammer Fantasy DLC in ages. The last time I played Total War Warhammer Fantasy was with Sotek.
Security protocols dictate that only cleared principal servitors have entry authorization.
One of these servitors has matching ocular biometrics to clear security.
Okay. Identify the principal's body. We can sure do that.
None of these servitors have access. Their sacrifice is not complete until we have their eye scans.
Where'd he go? Ow, 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 ow.
Checking this servitor.
I just let him do that. I'm like nothing but Hormigons this game. Hormigons and Spore mine ending.
This one was the Clade leader. Load up.
Ocular biometrics confirmed. Maintenance grade
objective.
Honestly, Helldivers is better than Arc Raiders. I haven't played Arc Raiders, so I got no clue. It's funny, I had the beta access for Arc Raiders, just never played it.
Prepare for heavy resistance, brothers.
What's up, FTG and chat? What's up, Charles? Every second I'm not playing Space Marine 2, I'm like, I could be playing Space Marine 2, you know?
Two Xenos leader beasts. That reactor must be destroyed.
Prepare for contact.
Honor our brothers. Honor our chapter.
Just punch their ass.
Brace for Xenos impact. The beast dives at us. Here it comes.
That silence intimidated.
How the Spore Mines are more dangerous than the boss. That always goes, though. You always underestimate the Spore Mine, you never underestimate the boss, you know? Well, maybe these bosses, because they're pretty funky, but... I will say that I've seen more people die against the Tyranid Primes than the Hive Tyrant in recent memory.
Prepare for contact. The beast dives at us.
The PvPs like killed Arc Raiders. I think most games tend to die after a bit unless you get new content. That's just the way games are, right? Like, think about what hyper popular game doesn't get new content. The ones I can think of, like maybe competitive games or community-based games.
Where shall I plant this flag?
See, even with that 50% reduction, we still hit him.
Prepare for contact.
In the balance fist, that was a heroic one.
The remaining prime of his invigorated.
Yeah, that's Crash one.
The living prime seeks revenge on us.
Our glorious banner strengthens our
Our brothers are avenged.
Top 5 Heroics to buy is returning launch player, Argent Edge, Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle, White Scar's Chainsword, Chains of Duty, Heroic Heavy Bolter, I would say, and also the Salamander Power Sword. Or the Heroic Bolt Pistol. I mean, Heroic Bolt Pistol is one of those things you can just go in any class. If you're trying to level up a brand new class, but so can the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle. And
we're tracking your signatures. Octavio and Heraton Leader are already on board. Our brothers prevailed.
actually, you always like to see the next operation added to the game. I want. Actually, no, I want to do a Tyranid boss. I want something like Purgation on Kodaku again with a new Tyranid boss. There is still going to get 2 new bosses, like, on mission in the next year, so we already know 2 new operations are coming, but like, ooh, shocker. But, one of those might come with patch 15, who knows?
Reactor overheating. 10% of core integrity remains.
Make haste, brothers.
Oh yeah, I should probably run. We have about 15 seconds left, don't we?
The Dauntless is about to detonate.
Race for turbulence. If not for
It's the best class to run for this week's hard strat, Sniper. Like every other hard strat in the game, pretty much. I mean, honestly, for like every weekly, you probably just put the exact same build there and be like, alright, use this one.